ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ. ನಾನೀಗ ಪುಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಪುಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಕಸದ್ದು ಗ್ಯಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನನ್ನ ಜೊತೆ ಅಜಿತ್ ಗಾಡ್ಗೀಳ್ ಅವರು, ಇವರು ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕರು, ಇವರು ನನ್ನ ಜೊತೆಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವರು ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಒದಗಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ತುಂಬ ಅತ್ಯದ್ಭುತವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ. ಇದು ಈ ಥರದ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಗಳು ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರಾಮ ಪಂಚಾಯಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಆಶಯದಿಂದ ನಾನು ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಈಗ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಜಿತ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಂದ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಹಾಂ, ಲೆಟ್ us know about this unit, sir.
This is basically a gasification unit of 5 ton per day capacity. We get the township waste, the wet, dry, hazardous municipal waste all over here. After getting the waste, segregation is done at this unit, in which the wet waste is turned into a fuel pellet, and the dry waste is turned also into a fuel pellet, as well as the non-recyclable is used for gasification, and the heat of gasification is again used for drying the wet pellets to fuel pellets. This is basically a gasification setup. The gasification is different from incineration. In incineration, you apply external energy, use external fuel for burning the waste. In case of gasification, we don't use any external fuel. The calorific value of the waste that we are putting into the gasifier, that is used for creating the energy up to 1200 degrees centigrade, and that itself turns it into syngas, which burns at a second stage to develop that heat of 1200 degrees. We don't waste the heat. That heat is used for drying the wet waste. 100 kg of wet waste is dried to 23 kg of dried fuel pellets, which are sold out in the market at 6 to 8 rupees per kg. For the pollution part, we have installed the online monitoring system, which gives the readings every 1 minute of SOx, NOx, CO, CO2 and combustion efficiency. Normally, at a stable state, the combustion efficiency remains at 99.9%, which ensures that there is no smoke or emissions outside, and we have a complete burn, which we call it. This is now 35 seconds. Every minute it will start taking the readings, and it is connected by GPRS, so we can monitor it on a central data system at any point of time. We are also selected by the Principal Scientific Advisor to Government of India. We have set up plants in East Delhi Municipal Corporation at Sudhara Park, where we are treating 1 ton of waste, and it is being monitored continuously by the PSA office. Apart from that, we are also one of the 75 promising startups selected by central government in the waste management sector. This is the actual gasifier. Every minute we gasify about 4 kg of waste, and the output that we get is around 3 kg of 3% of ash of the total percentage of kg we put in. Apart from that, we have a segregation of wet waste. We take it on the conveyor and we segregate the wet waste and put it in a tumbler dryer, where the shredded waste, wet waste, is dried using the heat of gasification, and the energy is stored in that dried waste. So that is sold outside at 6 to 8 rupees per kg. Apart from that, whatever waste we get, which is of cardboard or glass or plastic, it is taken out. The plastic is taken to our other unit in Pirangut, where we make high-speed diesel and paint, and the cardboard and glass is sold outside to a recycler. This is the wet waste setup, in which we get the wet waste in bags, which is transferred by the conveyor system to the table. The 2 people that are working over there, they take out the wet waste, shred it, remove all the plastic or anything which comes along with it, and it is put in the tumbler dryer, The tumbler dryer capacity is around 3 tons per day. We use the heat of gasification for drying the wet waste. And finally, the end product that we have out of this wet waste is fuel pellets, which are sold to boilers or smokeless chulas for heat purpose. It is sold at about 6 to 8 rupees. This plant that you are seeing, this cost is around 2 crores, and this is 5 ton per day capacity. The smaller plant for Gram Panchayat, they cost around 30 lakhs, and this has the entire same setup but of smaller capacity. This is the dry waste part. Usually in gasification, we use only that part which is not useful for anyone, which is a mixed waste or landfill waste. Only that part is gasified. All the other part, we turn it into shredded particles which are further compacted in the densifier and turned again into pellets. These also have a selling value and a calorific value of 7,000 kilocalories. So we leave nothing which we can sell. We have it into a value-added proposition, and only the part which is not of any use and which would have turned into a landfill, only that part is given to a gasifier. We have two products which we make out of waste plastic. One, we make a paint. Out of that, the oil that we have, pyrolysis oil. One of the byproducts is a solvent. That solvent is used for melting thermocol, out of which we make paint. Now this is all polystyrene, and that is the solvent that we have make out of pyrolysis. The entire polystyrene melts in this solvent, and from which we make paint, styrene resin. This is completely harmless. It doesn't affect even if you put your hands in the solvent. From this we make paint. From our waste processing site, we bring the entire waste plastic that is available in the municipal solid waste. It is brought to this site, we melt the plastic. The plastic is used for pyrolysis, as well as the thermocol part. This is used for making paint. This is a mobile gasification unit. This is capable of destroying 35 kg of landfill waste. It needs only 5 ampere of electricity, 230 volt, 5 ampere current, and it can be taken to site on a small 3-wheeler, and there itself we can process the waste. From the center we get the plastic in a molten form. This plastic is put into the reactors, which has a holding capacity of 500 kg. The process is of about 8 hours, in which we apply the syngas which is generated in the system, or the diesel that we make out of it is used for heating. The plastic evaporates, it is condensed in the condenser, and at the output over here we get LDO, solvent, syngas, and the rest carbon is turned again into fly ash bricks in this form. So there is nothing that goes out to the landfill. The paint that you saw that we were making the other shade, that is being used as a style paint. It can be used for external applications, for waterproofing. It is used for ground painting, as you can call it, instead And we have internal walls also which we paint out of it. This is the external paint that we have. It is leak proof. This is a water-based tie paint that we made, which can be applied to wood, it can be applied to walls also. This is the floor paint, which is again made from tie paint. And the walls are again painted with tie paint, which is a luster finish. These are all the other our products at a glance. And this is how we treat the waste. This is a representative 20-ton model in which we get the incoming solid waste of 20 ton. Segregation is done. Out of that, around 66% is wet waste, 30% is dry waste, and hazardous municipal is around 4%. So all these things which we get, we have put it in a tabular form, and plastic pyrolysis, recyclable, the percentages are given out of which we make the end products. Our automotive diesel fuel is of IS 1460 quality for Bharat 6. So in blends we achieve Bharat 6. For individually for gensets, we have compared all our fuel properties along with Bharat specifications. The main products that we make over here is diesel, which is equivalent drop-in fuel as per MSW policy. We sell it at 72.5 rupees plus 18% GST. We also make bio LDO, which is again a residue, which is compatible to the LDO, which is available in market. And the third, which is a solvent, it is turned into water-based sty paint, which is used internally. As you can see, the walls, everything we cover with that. That is sold at around 130 rupees per liter, which is way below what is available in market. Apart from that, we have fuel pallets, we have fly ash bricks, which we sell at around 8 rupees per kg for fuel pallets and 8 to 10 rupees for a single brick. So everything is a value addition, nothing is going to the landfill. Normally when we work in any township, we charge them tipping fees, which is paid them on per kg basis. It is our responsibility to take the entire waste that is generated in the township. Maybe it is wet waste, dry waste, hazardous municipal waste. Everything comes to us, and we separate it out and give it a value-added proposition for everything. The usual charges that are needed for running this entire unit is around 3 rupees 80 paise per kg, which covers our capex as well as opex for running the plant. Basically, the difference between our process and what is followed outside is this plant that we have is not an incinerator, it is a gasifier. There is a basic difference between the approach in the treatment. In an incinerator, we use external fuel for igniting and burning the waste in a positive oxygen setup, where we have an ambient oxygen setup. So the gases that are coming out of it are SOx, NOx, CO, CO2, O2 and dioxin, furols, everything. In our case, what we have is a gasification. What we do is we fill the gasifier to the capacity. All we have to do is put a ignited cloth, so it starts smoking. The smoke is actually syngas. The syngas burns at a partial oxygen condition. So once I am not giving oxygen to the gases that are being formed, the main gases that do form are only carbon monoxide and hydrogen, which are both very combustible. So these gases are combusted in the second stage to achieve 1200 degrees, and we maintain that temperature, and what is remaining is only 3% ash. The main difference for anyone to understand is we are removing the oxygen content from the air. As we remove the oxygen content from the air, the gases are not able to get formed. The basic is only CO and H2. In that also, as we are using a water based catalyst, the CO also turns from CO plus H2, gives me CO2 plus H2. So there is a difference in what we are doing, and so you won't find much of emissions or anything, and our combustion efficiency is at 99.9%.